Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Master League and let's try to get some wins. So we're going to be using an ABB team. We got the Zacian paired with the Rhyperior and the Groudon in the back. So let's see if we're going to be able to find any steel types. We got the Zacian versus the Giratina lead here. We're not dealing a lot of fast move pressure, but we are going to be potentially throwing Play Rough. Our opponent does end up throwing the Shadow Ball. We do shield a big move. Play Rough does get used here. They also shield, so right now we have even shield situation. They're dealing more damage to us. You can see the health bar. We're going to tank that Shadow Ball. We're already in the red. We're going to use another Play Rough here. They also tank it, and then we're just going to switch out of there. Our opponent is staying in, so potential farm down for us. But let's see if we're going to be able to wiggle out of this situation. We have to tank another Shadow Ball. They bring in their Charm Primarina. Charm Primarina is going to shield, so they're down to no more shields. We're trying to get to another Rock Wrecker, and we barely reach it. This is huge. Not only is this going to deal some good damage, but it gets it into farm down range. Now we can safely choose Zacian or the Groudon. So we farm down with Zacian, we go back in with our Groudon, and unfortunately for our opponent, they do not want to see that Groudon. So GG's for our opponent, able to win that game with the basically the Rhyperior. The Rhyperior ended up being the MVP, throwing the Rock Wrecker, huge damage, and then being able to survive long enough to throw another Rock Wrecker. If you haven't figured it out, we got the Zacian and the Rhyperior core, and the Groudon is just hopefully going to be able to find some good matchups. We have to switch out again. We're going to see the Dragonite come in. The Dragonite is going to get debuffed, so we're going to try to fire off another move. Okay, we do get 2 shields early on. Now the question is, do we shield here or do we let this go? We decided to let the first one go. It ends up only being the Dragon Claw, so they're forced to use some more energy here. This next Dragon Claw will take us out. Then we're going to go into our Zacian. Zacian only needs to get to a Wild Charge. So we do get the Wild Charge, and most likely we're going to dip out of here. Yep. Dip out of here for a positive matchup, and now we have the best case scenario considering the alignment. We have to shield the Aquatail, no brainer. We throw this Earthquake. Don't think it's enough to take it out, not quite, but potential farm down. We need to farm this down. Unable to farm down, but we're going to come out with some energy, and we should have enough to throw another Blades into the Necromance. There it is. Necrozma goes down, and we are going to be able to win that game. So GG's to our opponents. Huge farm down by the Groudon. So coming off some tough leads, was able to be overcome with some interesting Rhyperior play. Alright, Necrozma again. Necrozma, not the matchup we want to find. We go into the Rhyperior. Rhyperior is going to be shielding the first one. So we're going to basically try to get another shield and try to get some debuffs. There's the debuff, so maybe all we need to do is just go for breaking swipes at this point. Second breaking swipe gets it into the low red. We're not going to be able to double shield there because we need to have a shield for the back line. Ooh, Dialga in the back is interesting. The Origin Dialga is going to throw a move, but we need to overfarm anyway, so we're going to go for this Fire Punch bait. We know that we need to come out with some energy, so we're just going to try to get this in farm down range. We throw another Fire Punch, and we're looking for the farm down. Wow! Unable to get the farm down. The farm down doesn't allow us to come out with some energy versus this Necrozma. And unfortunately for us, we're just not going to have enough charge moves to take it out. It was a well-played game by our opponent. We were trying to get a shield, but they knew that all they had to do was save the shield for their Necrozma, and they would have had a positive end game. Alright, let's continue on. We got the Zacian versus the Kyogre. This is best case scenario. We are going to stay in, obviously, because our backline is really weak to the Kyogre. We're going to use a Play Rough first. So the Play Rough does deal some neutral damage. We're going to have to shield here, and the goal is to at least get a shield. Okay, and then we're going to make sure we throw this. Okay, they actually overfarm. We're trying to throw it on CAP timing, but they don't believe us, and down goes their Kyogre. We're going to go into the Rhyperior, the counter swap into the Dialga. That's not necessarily the counter. So we're going to be able to fire out this Breaking Swipe first. No debuff, but this is a regular Dialga. We know that we are going to be able to fire off another Breaking Swipe. They are able to survive it. They're going to be able to throw this Iron Head. The Iron Head is going to be able to take us out, and we got to put everything onto this Groudon. And we do get some energy advantage. Zacian is going to be interesting to deal with. We're going to fire off the blades first, and then we're going to have to tank this Play Rough. Okay, now we're going to be able to make it to another blades, and it looks like we are going to have to win this game with our Zacian at the end here. We're going to force out some energy. Our opponent here is ending up throwing the Play Rough. We're going to try to catch a move. Nice catch. What do we catch? Wild Charge does get cons, and now it's just a race to a move. We do get to the Wild Charge. Is this potential to KO, or is it enough to farm down? And we are able to win that game with the Wild Charge. So GG's to our opponent. That was really, really close, considering the Zacian that our opponent had to basically get to 2 moves at the end right there. But they were running the Play Rough Wild Charge version most likely, so they needed to get to multiple Play Roughs. Okay, we got the Kyogre here again. This Kyogre is going to be very fortunate for us in the front. As you can see, we are going to stay in. We're going to fire off this Play Rough. Play Rough does get shielded, so at least we get a shield. So we're going to match the shield because we do need this Kyogre to go down. Surf does get used, so we're going to make sure we throw in good timing here. Almost gets to double, but we're going to fire off the Wild Charge first. Wild Charge goes through, and we are able to take it out, and now we're going to have to switch out immediately. That makes sense. Oh, Inamoris is the counter swap. Since they were counter swapping, we are going to have the energy advantage. We throw the Rock Wrecker and ends up getting the shield. Inamoris potentially knows a grass move, so do we want to invest the shield here or let it go? We decided to let this go. Grass Knot does get used. We're going to have to go into our Zacian here. We're going to have to shield here because we need to overfarm. Okay, here comes the Wild Charge. Is this enough to take it out? I'm not sure. Hopefully it is. Okay, perfect. And now we're going to be able to go back into our Groudon. And this is a favorable matchup against this Dialga. Dialga's going to have to reach a potential Draco Meteor or Aurora of Time. And boom! Down goes the Dialga with our blade. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.